All right, we're here with Matt Bettman of All Good Equipment Company. Matt, why don't you tell us a little bit about your company and what led you to start this company with Teardrop Trailers?
Yeah, so in 2016 is when I finished the first trailer, and really wanted to create something that was good for our family and the type of camping that we did. That one turned out really nice, and I really liked it, but there were a few things that I thought could be improved, and so I couldn't help but make another one. So I was able to sell the first one and started building the second one, and that one was done in, I think, probably about 2018, 2019.
So tell us a little bit about your experience. You know, it sounds like you've gone through a little bit of the design process where you had your first trailer that you built, and you kind of adding to the design, and now you're at this point now where you've got two models that you're working on, the Pacific and the Sierra, and you were talking about the Sierra has a little more ground clearance, a little more for maybe a little bit more rugged roads like fire roads, a little bit of rocks and stuff with that added ground clearance. Who do you really feel like your main market is with your style of teardrop trailers?
So teardrop style camping has been around since the 30s, but I think it's kind of having a resurgence. I think there was a huge period during COVID where people really got into being outdoors, and the RV market did really well. And I think what happened was a lot of people bought these big RVs and towed them around and realized that it wasn't for them, and they put them back on the market to sell them. But I think there's a lot of people that are hungry for something that's small, simple, easy. Who the actual customer is, it's for people like me who are busy, don't have a lot of time to maintain an RV, but also want to maximize their time, their free time. So, if we get reservations somewhere and we get a free weekend, that's precious time. So one of the reasons that this is beneficial to us is it allows us to get out a lot quicker and a lot more efficiently. And then once we get there, it allows us to set up more efficiently. So more time is spent sort of relaxing, which is the point,
Yep.
than any of the sort of arduous stuff that comes with some types of camping.
Sure. I mean, you think about RVs and a lot of their water systems, and the more you get all that overhead of systems that you have to maintain, the more startup and put away time you've got on the device.
Yeah.
So you just started selling now this month, right? February 2024. And what's your goal as far as like how many trailers do you think you could be able to produce in a year if things go well and as you make them you sell them?
It's an interesting question, and so we're doing two things right now. We're building the trailers, but we're also building the process to build the trailers. So this year we have aspirations of building and selling 12 trailers, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it is to give us the time and space we need to figure out how to build these, maintain the quality, but also make them able to be built in a reasonable amount of time. So this year 12, next year 24, the next year 36.
Okay.
And from projections, 36 ought to be a good business that kind of keeps us going. It's not going to be anything that makes us rich, but we're not after profit. We're after prosperity. I keep telling my wife. So
That's good. So and then price range. Tell us a little bit about price range for a model such as this one we have on display here.
So the Pacific ends up at $22,000. You can remove things from it. So we put it on the website as optimized for doing the thing. If people have their mattress already picked out or they want a different solution than a tongue box, they can always remove things.
Sure.
That is at $22,000. And then you can add the larger suspension, the larger tires. That's a little bit more. We're still figuring out the pricing of various options, but I imagine that the prices will be between $22,000 to $25,000 for well-equipped trailers.
Great. Awesome. How would you compare to your biggest competitors? What differentiates you from some of the other ones that might be equally priced?
That's a good question. So the Teardrop, the independent small builder Teardrop market is kind of fascinating, and it's kind of filled with very well-intentioned people who build very nice things. There's a Teardrop for every type of person, and I think that what we focus on is not necessarily getting out and staying off the grid for weeks at a time. We really focus on that family that has a limited amount of time, has 3 days to a week. So we've really tried to hone down the level of complexity to be appealing to people who are really kind of busy with other things in their life, right? A lot of trailers are either built for maximum, off-grid longevity or full off-road capability. They work towards to extremes. We're trying to be a balance of all these various competing constraints and create something that just sort of works for, people like us. Again, people that have a normal job, don't have a lot of free time, but also want to make sure that their free time is maximized and they don't want to spend a lot of time maintaining something.
Definitely. So, what is one of your favorite design details of your trailer that you really appreciate or are proud of?
That's a hard question. I think that the simplicity is a design feature, right? And we don't really get a lot of that in the products that we buy today. Simplicity is usually left to the low budget models. So if you want something simple and not with a bunch of frills, you're oftentimes buying something with a lesser build quality, or you're buying the cheap version of that model. But I really want this to be simple, but in a good way, but also the very high quality that people expect from premium products. So it doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but it's got a really nice balance of the things that you need to give you a little bit more comfort when you're camping.
Awesome. So why don't you tell us briefly of one of your favorite recent experiences camping in one of your Teardrop trailers? Either a solo adventure or something with family, but just share a little anecdote with us.
Sure, yeah. There's two, if I may. So one of the most recent trips, not the most recent trips, this is one of the most recent road trips. We took a week and a half last year, and we went around California in the spring for the super bloom, for the wildflower bloom.
Nice.
And we had no reservations. And I was a little bit worried about that, but I was, assured by various apps and friends that you can find spaces to camp. You'll find places to fit in, especially with something as small as this. So we took off, and with no reservations, we spent a week on the road. Had a great time. Went to all different places. We went up to the Mojave Desert. We went, to the wildflowers in the what are they called? Carrizo Plains.
So you're out by 395, or you said more Mojave?
Yep, 395. We went up 395 a little bit, and then came back over the hill. But it was a great trip, and I realized that this distributed camping that was kind of the van life, thing, is definitely something you can do in a Teardrop trailer.
Yeah.
And it's something you could do probably indefinitely, as long as you have a place to fill your water and occasionally charge your battery. But it was a really cool trip, and to be in California and not have reservations, but to be able to go and have a beautiful trip with quite beautiful places meant a lot to us. And then the other one is kind of my secret sauce. With the first trailer, my job was not high pressure necessarily, but it was stressful, like most jobs are. So I developed this technique, I'll call it, which is you take a half day off in the evening on, say, a Wednesday, and then a half day off in the morning on a Thursday. So you take one day off in the middle of the week, and you take the Teardrop, you go buy your favorite things in the store, and it's just me at this point.
Yeah.
And I go over the hill to Memorial Park, which is a local place. It's only about 45
San
minutes
Mateo
away.
County Park.
And I just spend the night out camping. I sit and I have a fire and make myself a steak or whatever. And it just is this little mini respite that is something that I've done now kind of 3 or 4 times, and I I'm gonna continue to do
And
this.
especially midweek, nobody's there.
Yeah, midweek. That's the whole point. 'Cause in the
I
midweek,
may have
nobody's
to-
there.
may have to try
Not so
that.
much in the summer, but in the winter. But in California, you can camp all year round. So
Yeah. One thing I was curious about is, besides trailers, any other aspirations to kind of add to the trailer entity?
yeah, I think so. So the whole point of All Good Equipment Company, the reason I called it All Good Equipment and not All Good Trailers was
Yeah.
because I'm an industrial designer by trade. And that's what I enjoy doing, right? And I enjoy camping. So I want to design not only the trailer, but also other camping gear. And one of the things we really focus on is using materials that will eventually degrade, like wood or metal. So the gear that we make will be non-plastic, as much as is practical, high quality, durable gear that you can use for camping. We're not there. We make this table.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've got the table. At first, when I saw it, I wasn't sure if it was your own design, but I could see that it is.
Yeah, this is a folding table. It actually has a spot that folds. Your stove goes here, trailer. But we also use this as our card table and fireside board game table. It's very, very utilitarian, but also very versatile. So we'll get into more products. We're going to start with the teardrops and try to get successful and try to get on our own 2 feet, and then from there, who knows?
Awesome. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.